Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Rizal Miadur Rahman, and I'm going to presenting an introduction and conclusion. Economy is one of the oldest fields in humanities, since it was known as social science. The need or desire of human beings are the beginning of the economic operations, which include the basic needs of economy such as clothes, food, shelter, as they satisfy their needs for life to continue. An economy is like a dealership of businesses, people, nation, and even communities with the issue of economy itself. Economics is like a philosophy that examines human action as a link between certain ends and scarcity. Using alternative to how people use their ultimate resources to satisfy human needs. as this enables them to make decisions or choices. China is located in Eastern Asia, as this country are bordered by 14 other countries such as Japan, Korea, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and so on. Since 1980, China has been rapidly growing economy as their average annual growth increasing a lot in these few years due to such as transformation in their financial, economic fiscals, and their legal system. In such a period of time, in this century, China has evolved from a state of communist isolation into the backbone of the world economy. The benefit gained from this period of massive resources mobilization are now coming to an end, and in order to future develop its economy, China must focus more on efficiency improvements in the future.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farifida bin Muhammad Karuzan. Today I will talk about monetary policy in China. As learned in Chapter 9, monetary policy is defined as the action undertaken by a nation central bank to control money supply and achieve sustainable economic growth. In the case of China policy, it is mainly controlled by the People of Bank of China (PBC), and in the last decade, it was also seemed to be conducted and influenced by other authorities, mostly by the central government. Next, the purpose of monetary policy in China. Generally, there are two main purposes in the implementation of monetary policy. First, maintain low and stable rate of inflation. Second, to promote sustainable economic growth and low unemployment. According to Geiger 2008 as dated from NA 1995 and NA 2003, the final target or goal from the monetary policy implementation of the PBC are started in the law of the People Republic of China and the People Bank of China. Based on its Article 3, the aim of monetary policy shall be to maintain the stability of the value of the currency and thereby promote economic growth. The last is monetary policy tools. In general, there are 4 tools that will be applied by a nation central bank in achieving the monetary policy goal, which are open market operation, reserve requirement, discount rate, and interest rate. The first monetary is PBC lending and deposit rate. These rates are basically interest rate, which is the percentage of principal charged by the lender, which is PBC, for the use of its money by the borrower, and it is according to the amount of money loaned. Meanwhile, it is also referred to the money earned when public put into saving account. The second monetary is discount and rediscount rate. This rate is defined as the cost of borrowing that a central bank charges commercial bank to borrow funds from it. The third monetary is reserve requirement, which can be understood as the amount of money that commercial bank must keep on reserve required by the central bank. The amount changed throughout the year since it was first introduced in 1984 in order to control financial sector liquidity. The Chinese reserve requirement has three particular features, according to Geiger 2008. The last monetary is open market operation, OMOS. The instrument open market operation is the activity of buying and selling government bonds and other securities from member banks. Although the instrument has been introduced in China since 1993, it was suspended in 1997, for it was carried out a very low scale. However, with better institutional foundation, it was established in 1998 and the operation were an immediate success.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nasruddin bin Muhammad Saleh, and today I will present about the public policies that have been used by China. Actually, China used two types of public policies, but I will present only one of them, which is the fiscal policies. Okay, first of all, fiscal policies is a reading that shows the government that shows government spending and tax policy to determine the economic situation of their country, including the demand of goods and services, inflation, and economic growth. This policy have three main purposes. The first one is to stimulate the economic growth in a period recession. The second one is to keep the inflation low, and the third one is this policy aims to stabilize economic growth, avoiding a boom and economic cycle. It also have two important tools that will be used in the types of fiscal policies, which is the first one is tax and the second one is the government budget. Alright, there were two types of fiscal policies. The first one is contractionary fiscal policies. This policy is a form of fiscal policy that involves in increasing taxes, decreasing government expenditures, or both, in order to fight inflationary pressures. Due to an increase in taxes, households have less disposable income to spend. Lower disposable income decreases consumption. And increases in taxes also reduce profits that are available to businesses, and they cut down their investment expenditures. Okay. The second type is expansionary fiscal policies, which is to curb the problems of recession. This policy is a form of fiscal policy that involves in decreasing taxes but increasing government expenditures or both. In order to fight the recessionary pressures, decreases in taxes mean that households have more disposal income to spend. Higher disposable income increases, which increases the gross domestic product or GDP. Alright, that's all from me from my presentation today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to Sir Alfie. My name is Muhammad Amari Bermazlan and I am from AM1103F. Today, I will discuss problem and method to overcome inflation and unemployment in China. And my part is to overcome and give a method to unemployment in China. In recent years, unemployment is a serious social problem in China. It will leading to a rising numbers and various social problem territories. Unemployment is defined as a labor participants being available and willing to work but are unable to find jobs. Therefore, the unemployment rate is a percentage of the labor force that is unemployed and is actively seeking employment. Meanwhile, the labor force participant rate is defined as the fraction of the labor force to the total working age group population, which is expressed as a percentage. The formula, the force and participant rate is as follows. When there is unemployment, it means that an available resource is not being used. This indicates efficiency and a waste of resources. The unemployment rate in the labor market shows a percentage of the labor force being out of unemployment and seeking employment. Unemployment has several consequences such as economic loss to society and loss of self-respect. As we can see in the graph of unemployment rate in China in 2008 to 2018, we can see the graph is going down and decrease a year by year. But there is still a problem of unemployment in China. The first one is the lack of major absorber of labor. There is a persistent oversupply of labor in the rural sector due to reasons that include stagnating farm wages and a shortage of mature industries to take the place of agriculture. As a result, in coastal and inland areas, vast numbers of rural people are employed as seasonal workers. At more, the urban unemployment rate in China is at a high level according to official figures. These estimates, however, only provide an idea of China's partial unemployment, and the number of causes and latent unemployment is such higher. Retired jobs, corporate excess labor, and residual unemployment in the agriculture sector must all be viewed as unemployed. The method to overcome this unemployment is: following the entry to WTO membership, several international business will come into China. It is predicted that the resultant escalation of domestic competition would cause a sharp spike in the number of unemployed and laid-off staff. Agriculture will now be subject to fierce foreign competition, and that will undoubtedly exacerbate the job situation. At more, the Chinese government has attempted to find a solution to the issue of the lack of major absorbers of labor. Also, through implementing three priority about policies, the government has reacted to the increasing severity of the unemployment issue by developing job opportunities through economic growth. The next problem of unemployment is the rapid population growth in China. China has the largest population in the world. It is 1.2 billion or 21% of the population of the world. In the years to come, China faces significant social and economic concerns associated with overpopulation, degradation of land and wealth, emissions, and detrimental living conditions are exacerbated by overly populated areas. The Chinese government has attempted to find a solution to the issue of relatively efficient population development. The method to overcome this problem is several approaches to monitor population growth have been used by the Chinese government. China began the one child per family policy in 1979. The policy specified that before the birth of their children, people must obtain a birth certificate if they decided to have only one child. The people would be given special benefits. Citizens with more than one child will either be taxed at up to 50% of their wages or punished with work loss or other benefits. In addition, unplanned pregnancies or pregnancies will need to be terminated without proper authorizations. The birth quota method was introduced in 1980 to track population growth. The government has set targets for each region under this scheme. Thank you to listening to my presentation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mio Muhammad Fauzi bin Mio Ibrahim. I'm from AM1103F. Today I would like to present about the inflation in China. The inflation rate is estimated based on the Consumer Price Index for China, a commodity basket containing a predefined selection of goods and services on which the average customer spends money during the year is used to compute the CPI. Food, clothing, rent, electricity, telecommunication, activity and raw material as gas and oil, as well as federal fees and tax include. The products is changed every 5 years to reflect shift in customer preference and was last updated in 2015 using adjustment in CPI. The inflation rate is determined. It is also used for international comparison as country inflation is seen as a key economy indicator. The problem inflation is the Chinese economy problem is the growth is rate unbalanced with some industry increasing quite strongly, some area do not benefit from growth at all. There is still a high degree of unemployment as you see arising from the low incomes found in agriculture. Many families in the north have every low income, so they move to the south in hope of finding better income and jobs. The Chinese government is concerned that there will be increase in unemployment and social unrest if it does hold growth at 10% at years. Method inflation. However, the issue is that the Chinese government is talking at short-term approach and threatening the economy potency economy prosperity via tighter monetary policy and improve in exchange rates. China must moderate inflation growth. However, its reason that it shall remain under the fixed exchange rate because the government still wants to take action to reduce commercial sector and sector imbalance by developing. If the government can reduce food inflation, it would help. There are also agreements for making very small farms so that the government can reap and increase productivity from the size of the economy. This form of supply policy took them a long time to make an impact. Thank you.
As you can see, public policy have more facets than we thought it was. Fiscal public policy is an economic situation of a country, tax policy, and government spending reading. Monetary policy, which is include interest rate control, the financial system, and even the availability of the money in circulation. Fiscal policy is also used. Next is a tool of public policy. There is two tools of public policy, and both of them has its own pros and cons to a country economics. China policy is quite different from the other country. It was mainly controlled by the People's Bank of China. There are two main purposes of monetary in China: maintain low and stable rate of inflation to promote sustainable economic growth and low employment rate, and the aim of monetary policy shall be maintain the stability of the value of the currency and the terribly promote economic growth. There are four tools in monetary policy of China. The first one are PBC, lending and the deposit rate. This tool is used by the PBC to the citizen. The second tool is discount and rediscount rate. This tool is used to charge a commercial bank to borrow funds for the central bank. Next, reserve requirement can be understood as the amount of money that commercial bank must keep on reserve required by the central bank. This last one is open market operation. This is a activity of buying and selling government bonds and other securities from member bank. Every country has its own way to discuss a public policy, and it has to be fair and beneficial to the economy of a country. Thank you.